Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Forevercraft. First thing we have to get done today is get some orders filled. The rocket shop finally got some business and I didn't have enough stock, so I'm pretty sure Pandemonia left us a payment in here, but we're gonna have to fill his order with a special delivery. So I only had one shulker full of rockets, and he wanted three. Three full shulkers of rockets. So we've got his diamonds here, fully paid, and we've got two shulkers we're gonna go deliver to his base. Once we make this delivery, we'll talk about what we're gonna work on today, but it's gonna go right there. I miss this turn pretty much every time. We need probably to put a fence gate back here. It's pretty tricky to hit this last little turn because he put it so close to our space base. Alright, Panda's base is currently chaos. He's been leveling out a very large area, and I don't think he's necessarily fully decided what he's going to put here. So it's very much a work in progress area. But we will just drop off these rockets, and then we'll get to work. Alright, so our little trading port has the shulker shop and the rocket factory, which are the two main things that we sell right now. But I don't feel like either of those buildings really sell that, like, this trading district, or that this trade port has like a real like economy, if that makes sense. Like shops that the people would live and go to and use during like their regular workday, or even like touristy shops where people come in on the docks, they come onto land and they buy some stuff. So I think today, to fill up some of this area over here by the rocket factory, we're gonna build some shops. I wanna kind of mash them all together so they're like one building is the wall for the next building is the wall for the next building. Maybe 3 or 4 of them right in a row. And we'll probably go with a pretty basic wood style for each of them, but then differentiate with like the actual wood. So, you know, one will be crimson, one will be mangrove, one will be spruce, maybe one will be oak, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll try to tie in some elements from our other builds here. So we have like this cobblestone and oak maybe, and then we'll probably use slate for the roofs. We've kind of been using deep slate for all of the roofs in the area, so that may just be like a theme that carries through. We've used some tile, some that's like mixed and crumbled, some that's just straight cobbled deep slate like over here in the factory, so we'll probably stick to that. We did go tough on this roof, but that was kind of to like keep the base. Like this building originally had a stone roof, I think. So we tried to like mimic that with the roof. I can't remember. I don't know. This one's tough, but the rest are all deep slate, is what I'm trying to say. To get that done, we're going to need to gather a whole bunch of wood, but mostly if the whole roof, I mean, if you think about each build individually, they're not going to be especially large. But if you think about the surface area for all 3 or 4 builds, it's going to be a pretty good sized roof on there. So we're going to need a good chunk of deep slate, and I think we're running pretty low. So first thing first, let's head down to the mines and get ourselves some deep slate. All right. So that gets us up to 9 stacks of deep slate, and we have a little bit of a buffer now. We still are not swimming in deep slate. This is not cobbled because I always forget to use my like not silk touch pickaxe when I'm in the deep slate levels. So we have some cobbled, but not a lot. And we have some tile stairs, which the roof is going to be tile stairs. So I'll actually just grab those right now and put that in there as well because we'll use those. All right, now we're going to need a good chunk of a few different wood types. And I think the one that we're probably going to need to farm the most is pale oak, because I don't think we have very much pale oak. 4 stacks, 3 stacks of logs. This actually might be enough. Yeah, now looking at this, we actually might have plenty of pale oak. I also threw this mangrove in here. I think this is probably enough mangrove. We are running pretty low on standard spruce. For some reason, I have a ridiculous amount of spruce slabs that I probably will never use, but you never know when you're going to need spruce slabs, so I just keep everything in this game. But 3 stacks of logs is probably not enough if we're going to use some strict oak in the walls. So let's head off to the old space base. There's a nice spruce forest I always gather my spruce wood from, so let's go get some spruce wood. I have not spent a lot of time here recently, and I've kind of been getting the itch to come back to this like futuristic build style. So I'm thinking for the next episode, we may finally tackle the greenhouse here. I really want to build like a big domed greenhouse, maybe in this front corner or possibly in this area right here to help start filling out the space. And then now that we have copper golems, our copper mechs that we've built here are going to blend in even a little bit better. So I think we'll build a little bit more like copper mechs and golems, but That's not for today's episode. Today, we're building shops. So I'm gonna head over here to this spruce forest I've already been tearing down and get ourselves some more materials. As you can see, we have been here before. I come here, I steal the spruce, and I leave. I don't even stay long enough for the leaves to degenerate, so. We also got here right at nighttime, but we're not gonna need too much of this, so it'll go quick. Oh, apparently we haven't slept in a few days. That is not something I anticipated. All right, there's a village here somewhere, right here. I guess we're gonna sleep the night away and then continue our wood chopping. Sorry, dude. I'm gonna borrow this. All right, that ought to be enough spruce wood. While we're out this way, since we just made all those rockets, I think we're actually gonna swing by the mob farm and clean out any gunpowder we might have built up there. We did kind of take a pretty good dent to our gunpowder back at the base. All right, I have not AFK'd the mob farm in quite a while, but hopefully I didn't clean out all the materials the last time I was here. Oh yeah, we're good to go. Look at that. A few double chests, not anything in the overflow. These are both gunpowder lanes, so we've got enough here to get our couple shulkers filled back up, and that'll hold us over for a while. I never did come here and make the underground ice caves that I kind of plan on making in this area, so that could be another build we could do soon. Come back here and make the hydrogen mines actually functional. It's always good to brainstorm anytime you're playing Minecraft, just to keep ideas flowing in your world. Even if we never get around to them, it's good to just keep track. So one of the elements I want to integrate into this build is using actually beehives to get that like cool, clean plank look, or what is it called? Yeah, beehives. To make these, we need honeycomb, and I need to make a whole floor of this, so we're gonna need a good chunk of this. I have a few bee nests here, and I know that over in our like starter base for the season, we've got a few beehives there already on campfires, and I've got 3 more beehives here. So I'm just gonna go hang out there around our little hovel and kind of farm up some honey, because until we get an automated thing, which may be the use for that actual greenhouse we're talking about building in the spaceship area, but until we automate honey, I'm gonna head over there and just hang out in the area, take some shears, and farm some bees for a bit. Bzzz. All right. I'm not confident that we have exactly enough beehives, but that was taking forever, and we'll just have to like decorate the edges of the room differently or something. I don't know. This is a good chunk of them. I think if we mix this in with some oak wood, we'll have a pretty cool floor design. So let's throw that in there. I'm gonna get the rest of these blocks together. We should have everything else here. That was like the big last thing we had to collect. And then we're gonna go over there and build some shops. Let's get to work.
I'm going to leave you. I'm gonna leave you here alone. I will sleep out in the darkness. The woods and fields are gonna be my home.
And here they are, our 4 beautiful shops. Again, I kept them pretty simple. I tried to like mix up roof shapes, but I wanted to have common themes throughout them. So we did a lot of these like vertical fence posts. I tried to do a similar windowsill design, different materials, but the window design is mostly the same. They've all got these little canopies out front, but then obviously they are all their own very distinct woods. We've got our pale oak, our mangrove, our oak, and our spruce. The spruce I covered a lot with trapdoors. I'm not 100% sold on it, but honestly, once I build something in the world, it's semi-permanent to me. I don't like to go back and modify stuff too much, so we'll see. Maybe it'll grow on us over time. It's not my favorite looking thing, but that's the thing is like when something exists in your world for enough time, you get used to seeing it, and it's, you know, it's a lesson learned, it's a cool little thing, it's its own building, right? We've got a lot of interiors to fill up on these, and I don't have time to work on that today, but I think maybe between today's episode and tomorrow's episode, I might try to do some light interior design for these, and then maybe we could do some little interior building on the next episode. I do think that these spaces, I mean, they're relatively good size, and I'd like to theme each shop. These aren't going to be like shops that I'm actually selling items to the other members, like the Rocket Factory or the Shulker Shop. These are more just like cosmetic kind of locals buildings, if that makes sense. So these can sell things like, one can be the fish shop, one can be a sandwich deli, one can be where you go and buy your like hardware tools to work in your garden or work on your house. Things like that is what I'm thinking. If you got ideas, you could, I don't know, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, are you subscribed? Maybe do that. I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway, that's kind of the hope for these things. It's just to kind of bring some life to our little downtown trading port boardwalk here. I think next episode we're going back to space. We're going to build some more mechs. And I want to finally get that greenhouse built over there on the space base. So I think that's next. But I'm pretty happy how this came out. And we're really starting to fill out our little cove here. You go all the way down to... Oh, I'm not wearing Elytra. If you go all the way down here to our shulker shop and you curve around all the way to our shops, we've got a nice little horseshoe of builds starting to come together here in a pretty cool little downtown area that I'm super happy with. I can't wait to expand it more down there and build our big lighthouse. And then I want to build some kind of like Fort Knox looking vault place over here. This is definitely less of a concrete idea I have, but I think some cool like bank or something that's built into the solid stone, and these are like underground vaults or something. I don't know. It's a running theory. It's not a concrete idea yet, but I'd like to do something with those. But yeah, here it is. Our 4 shops for all the people that live over here in our apartment building to get their goods. But that's all I have time for in today's episode. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good one.